Hello, everybody. Happy Monday morning. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. And we have clues from yesterday that Peter Weber and Kelley Flanagan are back together. Peter's thirstily commenting and liking a photo on Kelley's Instagram page. One thing that is reserved for when you're back on the mend with an ex. That's not something you do when things are dead. Or maybe it is if you're creepy. We'll get into this whole story. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. I'm going to post a link in the description of this video if you want to buy tickets to my stand-up show this Saturday, September 3rd in Hollywood, California. I've got a stand-up show. I'm headlining September 3rd, Hollywood, California. We'll have a couple Bachelor of you guys. We'll have some audience there if you guys want to come out. Again, there'll be a link in the comment section. I'm on patreon.com/Dave Neal. So we'll get into the story in a second. Today's teacher of the day, as you know, we feature different teachers with their Amazon wish list, is Mrs. Laura. Hello all. I'm a preschool teacher at an early Head Start center that serves low-income families with free childcare so that they may have the opportunity to work. So if you guys want to help donate as little as, $8, probably $5, $20, whatever you guys want, there's different items on the wish list here on Amazon. You click on it, you buy it, it goes straight to our teacher. We've got about a dozen or so more teachers to get to, so keep on donating. I appreciate you guys so much. All right, so the Bachelorette put together this little slide. Absolutely obsessed with the never-ending saga that is Pilot Pete's season, the drama, the intrigue, the Instagram comments. All right, let's jump right to it. This is exactly so here's the photo she posted, and of course the photo was about some charity. It had nothing to do with Peter, but of course, some random guy named Steve at the Cape said, "Having impure thoughts, Miss Hottie." And it's like, can somebody get their grandfather? No offense, Steve, but no one cares about your impure thoughts. You keep your impure thoughts to yourself. This is a family show. So anyway, Pilot Pete says, "Same." And then Steve goes, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize you were a United Airlines pilot now. I retired 4 years ago after 25 as purser speaker," whatever that means. And then Pilot Pete goes, "Just missed you in the friendly skies. Congrats on a great career." So we went from a little thirst trap to doing a little networking event amongst pilots here. But get your peanuts or popcorn or whatever it is you like to eat here for the dramatic storyline, the never-ending story that continues, which is Kelley Flanagan. And I love this. I love these natural poses where they look in the other direction. And it's like, here we are just to show off my ass. No, my smile. Whatever it is. She's showing off. She can show off whatever assets she wants. So Kelley's got that going on for her. Peter responds, and it makes you wonder, is this story going to keep going? Are we done here? What's next? So some comment sections from you guys. Another girl commented under that thread about how happy she was they found each other again, and Pilot Pete liked it. Okay, we're on to it. In case you missed it, Pilot Pete and Kelley once discussed how their values didn't line up because he loves Pokemon and she doesn't. I just hope he did not apologize for liking Pokemon cards. Us Weekly said this. Pilot Pete responded to Kelley Flanagan's remarks on his own podcast, Bachelors in the City. "We were different in a lot of ways. I will never apologize for liking Pokemon cards. Maybe she was just playing along to make me happy." Well, maybe Kelley learned a little bit about something. She goes, "You know what? We learn this. The older we get, we start settling for other people's flaws. I don't like that guy because he chews with his mouth open. Well, now I'm 36 and all the good guys that don't chew with their mouth open are taken. So maybe I do like a guy. Maybe Pokemon cards aren't the worst thing. I could learn to love Pokemon. It's like just because things aren't perfect doesn't mean you can't love to learn. That there should be a book. How to love your man's Pokemon card addiction, or maybe it's not an addiction. Either I could just imagine Pilot Pete checking in as a pilot. "Hello, cabin. This is your Pilot Pete speaking here. We're off to a cruising altitude of 4,000 feet, and we're gonna hit the signs, and you can go, whatever." And then it just cuts to him in the front, like trading Pokemon cards with his first mate. I don't know. Maybe not. All right. So anyway, they've She talked recently about why things never worked out on the Talking It Out podcast, which, you never speak too soon, because this, I think, is their third iteration. We had them on the show. She leaves the show. Let's actually go to the timeline. She leaves the show. Then they get back together. She talks about non-negotiables, which apparently have become negotiated. "I've got non-negotiables." He's like, "Well, how about a little Pokemon?" She's like, "Well, we'll talk." Clearly he's doing something right. And then they have a potential run-in. So here's where they ran into each other.
Peter, and I was like, oh man. I was like, what is happening?
And you haven't seen him or talked to him since the show?
No. So
wow.
there was, I think, I think after the fact, I like DM'd him Merry Christmas or something, but it wasn't anything like outrageous.
Mhm.
It was just like, hey, Merry Christmas, hope all is well. And that was about it. I think it was Christmas, maybe Thanksgiving, I don't remember. But
Yeah.
it wasn't anything. It was just like, hey, have respect for you, sending out my Christmas text to literally everyone that I do. Just
Sending out my Christmas text to literally everyone that I do. You know, I don't know. I'm getting a little older. I used to get these in my 20s, but I don't get those anymore. I don't get Christmas texts from people. If you want, you want to know what someone's doing, you got to go on to Instagram and look at their stories.
went through this really great experience with you. Merry Christmas. And then, so Super Bowl, I see him, and then Tyler runs down to say hi. And then I was like, oh man, I'm in a very crowded place right now, and I do not know what to do because this show is airing. And so I went down there and I was like, hey, how are you? And he was like, great, how are you? And I think the first question he asked me was like, did you even like me? And I was like, what? And I was like, yeah, no, I did. And that was about all the time that we essentially got to talk, because I was so in my head and like nervous as could be.
Yeah, of course.
Because you had thousands of people around watching. You don't know who recognizes you, who doesn't. And then you're sitting there while the show's airing. So I was like, all right.
Right.
So she was nervous to be seen in public with him. Of course, as we said, she left the show, and then she was kind of like the villain of the show. A good example of like her and Peter had something, but she didn't really play into the dynamic of the show. She wasn't going to like go along with what the producers wanted, so they kind of booted her. And then afterwards, he's like, "Did you even like me?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, knowing how his season crashed and burned, hopefully, better than any career movements would happen." And then he realizes, "Okay, man, we'll try another shot here." So anyway. Here's what she had to say on the Talking It Out podcast just a couple months ago regarding her breakup.
Wrong in your past relationship? Like what was the downfall of that relationship?
With me and Peter?
Yeah, with you and Peter.
That it's
not
not
I
over.
don't think it was like one specific thing. I think it was just a lot of little things. You know what? Peter and I had a lot of fun, but I don't know if like I looked up to him in a way that I wanted to like look up to like my spouse. Does that make sense?
Yikes.
Can you explain?
No respect.
Yeah, like
She didn't respect
I
him.
I kind of have this with like my brothers or my dad, but like if I'm in a moment where I need some sound advice and I'm like, okay, who can I go to like advise me on this super important decision of my life? Like Peter was just like fun and games, it was kind of just like I could go with him and have fun, but I just think I want more of like a man that I look up to.
I'm intrigued.
Yikes.
I get
That's hard to get over. Look, and I get it. Like you can't change the way you feel about someone. If you just don't respect someone or whatever, fine. Peter's a pilot. He's probably one of the more, I don't know, credentialed alumni of Bachelor Nation. But of course, he was a little flip-floppy, as you are, with some of the contestants on the show. I don't know if I would use that against him, but if a girl that I used to see said this about me and then we got back together, how do you not think about that?
you on that. So I mean, basically, when you had these important life decisions to make, I mean, he just wasn't somebody that you could go to and like you could confide in him, but he would just not give you the advice that you were looking for. Or
I guess so. I guess I just didn't like. I guess I just, and again, like it wasn't big things. There was a lot of little things, but I guess I just didn't look up to Peter in the way that I have always hoped to look up to my husband.
What qualities do you look for?
Someone who's like
Not a
super
pilot.
intelligent that could teach me things, like something new every day.
So she didn't feel like Peter had what she needed, but she wants a guy who's so essentially she doesn't she thinks she's smarter than Peter. Hey, well, that's fine. Be smart at this. Sometimes being smart can be a problem here. Maybe Kelley needs to dumb herself down to Peter's level. Maybe that's what needs to happen.
I really
Aviation?
like
Aviation?
Peter actually was really smart when it came to aviation. He used to teach me a lot. Like when we would go and fly around or whatever, like Peter is smart, but I don't know. I think I just need someone a little bit more serious natured.
what was your relationship with Barb?
Peter's mom?
Barb and I were great. Barb actually loved me. And then towards the end, I think it just was getting a little bit uncomfortable. But, I have all the respect for her. I wish her well. We don't really communicate, which is fine by me. But I hope both of them are doing well. I haven't heard from them. I haven't talked to them.
Well, now we know you have. Let me know what you guys think about this. We have more content coming your way today. They're back on, baby. Nate was seen holding hands with someone in the produce aisle. We'll have that story, lots more. I'll be live on Patreon at 10 a.m. today, patreon.com/Dave Neal. Link in the comment section for the Amazon wish list. And if you want to buy tickets to my stand-up show, Saturday, September 3rd, this Saturday. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.